Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of the Gruely Crew Sports Network. Um, I know you guys have heard us talk about replenishing technologies, whether you're listening to the NFL Pick'em show or probably five or six of our biggest shows. And I truly believe in the replenishing technologies model, whether it's the PEMF machine or what we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to talk about the POP replenishing PCR CBD. And that's a lot of letters, James. You want to tell us exactly what that means?
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister as well. You don't want to be saying it three times quickly. Essentially, POP stands for a product called Path of Purity. Replenishing ties it in with the other companies, or at least the other model, as you so graciously called it, the replenishing care model. And PCR stands for phytocannabinoid rich, and that's a reference to a type of hemp oil that is people may have heard of as full spectrum. It is the type of hemp oil that has the greatest health benefits or therapeutic benefits. So when you see phytocannabinoid rich or PCR, it's an indicator that you've literally found the version of CBD that has that research has shown has the greatest therapeutic value. And then, of course, it gets to CBD, which most people have heard of by now, as we just wanted people to kind of have an anchor to what all of those letters and words actually mean. So when you say it POP, replenishing PCR CBD, I always acknowledge that it's a bit of a combination of letters and words, but every one of them has a significance to what it is that we're looking to do.
All right, and CBD is something I use, my family uses, especially my sons. I swear by it. And the thing that I really like about this is when you started sending this to me 4 or 5 months ago to try out. Before we were using the droppers under the tongue. It's a mess. It's a pain in the butt. But the thing that I really like about this, it's a pill form, which I'd never seen with CBD at that time before. You put the pill under your tongue, you let it dissolve, and the thing that's great about it is you just don't get the benefit 20 minutes or 30 minutes after you take it. This time releases over the day, too, so it stays in your system longer than what a normal CBD would, James.
Yeah, in fact, Mike, that was one of the things that really tweaked my attention when I was kind of, approached to consider getting involved with this particular product. And as you say, I mean, the tablet form comes in a 50 milligram version, and you're actually getting 25 milligrams of the actual CBD within about 30 seconds of putting the tablet under the tongue. And then essentially the other 25 milligrams is released about 3 to 6 hours later, in accordance with how the receptors of what is called the endocannabinoid system work. So it actually is, the tablet has been engineered to time, appropriately to the actual way that the receptors that are in the endocannabinoid system work to take in CBD for optimal bioavailability and absorption. I'll just add to a little piece there, if I may. We just had a small series of testing done on 4 individuals who took the Path of Purity product, and what it actually shows in terms of the actual amount of serum in the blood shows that it actually peaks as the time release comes, basically happens. And so you see that the greatest amount of the product is actually, building up in the system about 8 hours after somebody actually takes the Path of Purity tablet. So that's why one tablet is essentially a daily dosage, if you will.
Yeah, and the great thing about that is it's 30 tablets in there, so if you get it for yourself or a loved one, I mean, that's a month's supply. And when you look at it, a lot of the other ones, the droppers, 2 or 3 weeks later, it's gone, and they're charging you $130, $140. That's another thing I really like about this. And also, if I'm a practitioner, doctor, athletic trainer, athletic therapist, whatever, how do I learn more about how to get started with this?
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Path of Purity is a product that is being sold exclusively through professional practitioners, whether that's medical doctors, chiropractors, various types of therapists, athletic trainers, and so forth. And essentially, the way that you can learn more about it is to go on our website, which is www.replenishingpcr-cbd.com, and I'll probably repeat that again in another minute or so. Or you can give me a call at 647-289-3791. We are actively looking for, professional practitioners to reach out and begin to work with us. One of the reasons we're hoping they will decide to do so is that it is a wonderful augment to care. We have a clinic in New York that started using the product just a short time ago, and they're actually seeing patient referrals resulting, especially around children, parents of children who were dealing with things like autism and epilepsy, have been encouraging other patients to reach out to this clinic to get the product. So they're actually seeing a growth in, in patients, all because, again, of doing something of great value to the patient. And one of the reasons that patients like this, as you suggested, is that it is priced to essentially be 10 cents a milligram for the actual product. And again, where it's measured in meters, it's very simple to take. There's no wastage of trying to, use a dropper and those kind of things. And I'm not criticizing anybody with that. It's just that a tablet is so much easier for people to use. And it's one of the reasons that a lot of the patients of that particular clinic are really, enjoying using it and benefiting from it, as they do.
All right, James, and I want to tell everybody another place you can find this is you can find the POP banner at the top of the gruelingtruth.net page. You can click on that also. James, I really want to thank you for coming in today. Is there anything else you want to let our listeners know?
Yeah, I'm going to just repeat the website again, if I may, because it, as we sort of joked about in the beginning, it is a bit of a lengthy one. So once again, it is www.pop-replenishing-PCR, as Paul Charles Richard, -CBD, Charles Bob David, .com. And of course, anybody is more than welcome to reach out to me. My number is 647-289-3791. It's an absolute pleasure for me to describe this product to people. What it's done for me very early on as a weekend warrior who loves to exercise and was running into some of the things that happen with wear and tear when you're early 60s. And what it's done for me has been remarkable in terms of just reversing some wear and tear. I will add as well, and I don't want to drone on here, but my significant other, who is a 57-year-old female who was diagnosed with diabetes about 6 years ago and is on a blood medication or a blood pressure medication, earlier this year and she's been on that medication for 6 years. Back in January of this year, we made a couple of trips to the family doctor because her blood pressure was about 140 over, 95 and a little bit higher. She's been using Path of Purity for about 4 weeks, and now routinely her blood pressure is between 115 to 120 over 75 to 80. So to say the least, she's very excited. Can't say that's going to happen with everybody, but anybody who understands or starts to review information on the endocannabinoid system and the potential for that to impact health and how full spectrum CBDs like Ours, have the potential to impact the endocannabinoid system. Let's just say there's a whole lot of reason to investigate it and to consider using it. And I hope a number of practitioners listening to this will reach out and contact us and consider using it in their practices with the patients and clients and athletes who rely upon them for care and guidance.
All right. Very good, James. And once again, Replenishing Technologies is the future of sports medicine. I think with the CBD is the future of medicine because the CBD works for a number of problems you have. Even if you don't think you have a problem, if you take it, you'll feel better. So remember, you can also check them out on thegruelingtruth.net. Click on the pop banner at the top of the page. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, and I want to remind everybody you can hear all of our shows on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker. Wherever you find sports podcasts, you'll find The Grueling Truth. So for James Comerford, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.